Good morning, everybody. Oh, of course it is kind of drizzly, a little bit of rain as it always is. I thought I would pop out and pop some letters in the mail. Hopefully they get there before Christmas. So this is Christmas. What have we done? Another year over and a new one just begun. Okay guys, well I just passed a magpie and I've got this superstition where I always salute a magpie and say good morning, Grandmaster, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever the case may be. And I can't get out of that superstition, and I always do it no matter where I am, who I'm with. I always do it because I believe if I don't, something bad will happen. And it all stemmed from years ago. I must have been about 18 at the time. I had a Rover 420 and I got away from work early that day, and as I'm driving home along Glasgow's Broomielaw, I could see two drug addicts shouting, or we would call them junkies, were shouting abuse at each other, and they caught my attention and I looked at them, but I was in stop-go traffic at the time, and just as the traffic started to move I looked over at them, and then as I put my attention back to the road I was literally just about to rear end this car, went to hit the brakes, and lo and behold I hit the accelerator and I absolutely smacked into the back of the guy, a Jeep with a tow bar, and I wrecked the front end of the car. And the reason I tell you that is because literally it was the first time ever I'd saw a magpie and decided to ignore it, and I chose to not salute it, and ever since then I believe it's because I didn't salute that magpie. So that's one of my superstitions. I have others. I also have my tattoo of my angel on my neck, which I also rub each and every time I get on and off my bike, and I ask it to, I call the angel my dad, and I say keep me safe on my journey, Dad. And I do this absolutely routinely each and every time. So yeah, what other superstitions do I have? Yep, my last one, I only have the 3. The last one is I always put my left glove on first, no matter what. I don't know why, I always do it. Doesn't matter with my boots or anything else, but my gloves, for some reason, my left glove goes on first. So if you have any superstitions and why and for what reason you have these superstitions, let me know. That was nice, thank you. A wee wave. Where that place we passed there, the beech trees in, I remember years and years ago, when Lynn and I just started dating, we went to walk part of the West Highland Way, which of course passes by there, and we packed everything to go with us, the tent, you know, the usual, the food, sleeping stuff, change of clothes. The one thing we forgot to take was money or a wallet, and we literally had like a couple of quid in our pocket, and we never thought anything of it because we were there to rough it, and we roughed it. We went walking along, and Lynn will tell this story as she carried the tent, making it sound like she carried the heaviest item. She did carry the tent, but I had to carry everything else. But anyway, what happened is, on the way back we were passing by there, and you know that way we were parked, where were we parked actually? We were parked at the Kirbeff Inn actually. So as we were following the path round, we were so hungry, so thirsty, and it had been raining, so we failed to have a fire lit to cook our food. We didn't have any matches or anything with us, so We were literally absolutely starving, and on this, it was raining the night before and raining that morning, but come afternoon, the time we'd passed by there, the sun was splitting the sky. It was beautiful, and we went in. We were embarrassed. We had like £2 coins. We only had enough for a packet of crisps and a can of Iron Brew, and so that's what we got. And we sat outside, and we were like two wee beggars, and we were sharing the crisps and sharing the Iron Brew. And there, out of nowhere, comes this wasp who decided to land right in the can of Iron Brew, and drown itself in it. So it put us off drinking the rest of it. Well, it put Lynn off drinking it. I don't know if I drank it. I probably wouldn't have, because the wee thing went into the can and perished. But yeah, that bloody wasp. And it's a memory Lynn and I still to this day laugh about when we pass it. And that must have been about, God, I don't know, you need to ask Lynn, maybe 16 years ago, 15 years ago, who knows. A good memory. The field we camped on, we just kind of pitched a tent on a field, woke up in the morning surrounded with cows everywhere. That was fine. It was an experience, let me tell you that. I tell you what, it's not really that cold. Or maybe that's the joys of being on the RT. See, we have no reference, it really is, makes a world of difference. It's great. I've got the heated grips on the first setting, but failing that, the rest of me is perfectly warm. Inside Milly's carrier I have a snuggle pad, is that what you call it? I'm not sure, it's a microwavable heat pad, and it stays warm for, I want to say, up to 8 hours. Basically I've cut a hole and a bit of foam big enough to accommodate the heat pad, and put it inside, and the bottom of the carrier is lined with tin foil just to reflect any heat back up, so she's getting the most comfort out of it for the longest period of time when it's cold. But because it's in the foam, not much heat kind of penetrates through it, so she's not in direct contact with anything that will make her uncomfortable. Instead it just kind of warms the whole carrier inside. I've done the same thing for the past few years, and it's always been suffice for us. Do you know, we never get anywhere near enough riding in this year. Mainly because of COVID, obviously. Obviously with the bike being off the road as long as it was, certainly put hampers to a lot of it, but needs musts when it needs repaired. But by God, next year this old girl and I'll get a lot of trips to be making, if Lynn allows me, of course. What we should do next year is get a sponsor for hotels, dog friendly hotels, so that we can just keep travelling from hotel to hotel. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Put them to the test, Milly. See if they're dog friendly, or as I like to call a lot of them, dog tolerant. My definition of that is dog friendly is somewhere where you can go with your dog and you can and they willingly accept it, like the way they would a person, i.e. supply a place for us to eat together, a comfortable room, not absolute disgusting room, but a lot of places leave aside for dog owners. Dog tolerant is places that do that. They kind of leave certain rooms aside and they're pretty worn, and they charge you extra for the purpose of using that room. I don't like that. Don't mind having to pay a bit extra because a lot of people think there's going to be additional cleaning for a dog. With some dogs that's the case, so I completely understand it. So I don't mind having to pay a bit extra to take Milly, although she's always spotlessly clean, but I completely understand that. But I do like to have a decent enough room. Something else which is dog tolerant is when they tell you they're dog friendly, but when you go to have breakfast in the morning or have a drink and want your dinner, there's nowhere for you to eat your meal because they're not allowed in the restaurant, which I understand. But if you're dog friendly, at least supply some area where you can have your breakfast with your dog and a meal. A lot of places will set up a bar area for you, which is fine, that's dog friendly. But yeah, that would be cool. Maybe I should start reviewing places more often, because I don't really update my website because I don't know my details to get into my website, believe it or not. And I can only update it through an app on my phone. I don't know how to do it on a computer. Every time I've tried it's never let me. So I kind of quite fancy having a new website, starting from scratch. So I need to get somebody to show me how to do that. I keep saying all these things, and I do get offered help from people from time to time, but I struggle to accept people's help. I love this time of year when it's night time and you see all the houses lit up with the Christmas decorations. Very festive. Even nicer when you've got some snow on the ground. Boom boom. Oh.